me see. Okay, here's one. This is a good one. Ooh, okay, this is a really good one. Somebody said, okay, I want to show this one on the screen. This is a good one that I don't necessarily agree with. Well, 50-50. 50-50. So they said here that it's like a little bit, I don't know why it's like, anyway, I'll just read it. They're saying ISSOs should not be writing SSPs, that's system security plans. They should be reviewing and validating against regulation with the engineers, developers, system owners. ISSO is, okay. ISSOs, this is not your system. IT is theirs, and they know it better than you. Okay, so what do I think about this? So it really depends on the job, right? It really depends on the job, because I've been an ISSO where I was super technical and I had to know, for example, the security configuration of the servers. And I was the guy who was putting the security configurations on the server, so I knew how secure the servers were. I knew exactly what policies and stuff were on the system. It depends on the actual requirements of the position. If you're an ISSO that's doing some technical work, then, and I was basically working with a system administrator. I wasn't the system administrator, but I was going through each one of all the controls and making sure that all of the line items, all the, what do you call them, CCIs, were on the actual system. So in that case, when I wrote the system security plan, I actually, I knew what was on there. So I could do that part. Now, I think what they could have said better here is that when you write the system security plan, essentially you're going to the subject matter experts. Like if you have to put in the firewall and some kind of description of the firewall and what it does and what configuration, you have to go to the SMEs, the subject matter experts of the firewall. You got to go to them and say, hey, we need this for the system security plan. So in that case, yes, you would go talk to them, and then they would maybe write you a little blurb, and then you would maybe rewrite it, make it a little bit better, take out some of the jargon and stuff, and then maybe put their network diagram in there that shows the firewall breakout and all that kind of stuff. You're kind of still writing it, right? You're just taking some of their expertise and you're putting it in there, and then you're letting it flow. So yeah, you want to go to the developers. You're not the developer. If they're developers there, you would get the information from them. If there's engineers who are doing the whole network diagram stuff, if you're talking to the system owner, you might want to know something about how the operators do their work. Like you have to pull from all these different places, but you're putting all that stuff into play. You're making sure that all that stuff is put together. So that might be what they're talking about. But there are some pieces of it that you have to articulate, because they're not, for example, the developers aren't going to know necessarily, they're not necessarily going to know exactly what kind of, say, auditing controls you're looking for. So you would work with them and say, look, this application, thank you for giving me a description of it. Does it do auditing? And they'll say, what do you mean? It's been audited before. No, you have to explain it to them. What I mean is, does it collect logs? Are there event logs for this application? And they'll, oh, yeah. It does this X, Y, and Z. It does syslog. It sends it to port 514 or whatever, right? Through Linux, whatever. And then you would take, basically, you're still writing it because you are the expert. Like, you know exactly what the NIST is asking for that particular control, for AU control 2 or whatever it is. And then AU 3 is breaking down like, okay, does it have timestamps? Does your event log have timestamps for this application? Does it tell you what the event is? Does it tell you, does it have it's asked specifically saying, does it have these things in the log? So I would say, number one, it depends on what position you have, right? Because there's probably ISSOs that don't write system security plans at all or don't have to. But at the same time, you're the one putting it all together, and you're the subject matter expert that's going to know the nuances and all the details that are in the NIST system security that are required to explain that control and how effective that control is, or that the control is not effective. So you are still writing the system security plan, but really depends on the position.